Okay, hello everyone, this is Mr. Ronan here again, and it's about day 3 of Takeda being released, so I thought it's time we do a bit of a Twitter review, see what the tech lords, or the lab lords, are getting up to, and see if we can find some cool stuff, and we'll go through it together. Okay, and I'm going to leave it in this view, because I think that's the easiest way to give credit to who's actually posting these things. But starting off classic, we've got some crazy high damage combos. People thought Takeda was low damage, and in general he kind of is, but there is certainly ways of getting high damage. So using the Scorpion and other cameos like Janet seem to be really easy ways of him extending off of the end of his combos. And yeah, getting as many aerial strings as you can, we know, adds a lot of damage to your combos. So this is obviously going to be a nice 50%. Not bad. Another high damage combo, but this time we're using Movado. The same classic starting route with Takeda. Very classic, but then we're just doing some aerial strings and bringing in Movado a few times into a fatal blow. So nothing too special there, but just showing that main combo that we see Takeda a lot really works. Now Sonic's actually blessed us with some stuff. Sonic really likes some setup things, so he's got some emphasis on Janet and also setups. Which is cool, because I think that Smart Shuriken is going to be one of the differentiating factors between good Takeda players and, like, average Takeda players. So just the regular combo. Stand for aerial string. Get the knockdown, but instead of using Janet to extend, uses the extra knockdown to set up a Smart Shuriken in the perfect position for a back throw and then get a back throw combo. So that's the perfect position to go for strike throw combos, and then the combo afterwards still does a crap ton of damage off of a throw. They also gave us a similar situation, but it goes into an overhead. It's using Janet to combo from the throw on its own, and then comboing from the throw, using both the Enhanced Shuriken and Janet. I don't know if those are both necessary, but looks cool. And now, Kuchi Legend has given us a new extension, Motaro. So it's kind of similar to Rain's back 3, Takeda's back 3 to be honest. So much hit stun that you can connect into things like Cyrax Annette and Charged Sonya. We already know this, but something that maybe is a little bit less standard is Motaro's shield. Recovers fast enough that you can just link into extra buttons afterwards. Adds a little bit of a cheeky way of getting extra extensions. It's very tight though, I have tried this myself. Similar concept here, we've got Cyrax off of the back 3, thanks to that back 3 having so much hit stun, setting up some Smart Shurikens. Now we have actually seen some slightly more optimized multi-Shuriken combos, but in this combo we get to see Cyrax being used at the beginning and end of the combo to kind of see his full cameo potential. But I'm sure we'll see some more Smart Shuriken combos later. Now, nothing too crazy here, but a grab combo with Sektor. Basically everyone has throw combos with Sektor now, but 32% is truly impressive. It does take the whole cameo bar and like one extension, but 32%, that is Okay, and next we've got these fatal blow cancel combos, which we saw one from Super at the beginning of the video, but this guy, Kuchi Legend again, has kind of a cooler version of it, where you get this kind of cool, interesting extension. I'm not sure how useful it actually is, because it's very scaled, but he shows the car cancel from the overhead and a Cyrax setup, so a lot of added sauce to the end of this and a lot of extra tech than we got to see before. Being able to do those extra things, like the fatal blow cancel is kind of cool, but yeah, getting any kind of setup into the car cancel throw and comboing from the throw is really cool. Setting up the Cyrax, cancel the throw. There are so many ways that Takeda can combo off of his throws now, whether it's with cameos or on his own, which is really, really cool. And Hey George, just with another straight damage combo, actually showing the kunai combo that I was talking about before, where you get the double Smart Shuriken, a bunch of stand 4s, which of course leads to a ton of damage. Double Cyrax in the combo does a ridiculous amount of damage. Keep in mind, this took 0 of your super meter, and technically only really half of your cameo gauge, because it's such a slow combo that most of Cyrax came back by the time he got used a second time. Look at this! Almost half a cameo gauge for a 50% combo. As long as you have the execution, you can get this anytime you land a back 3, which, keep in mind, is one of Takeda's best buttons. Like, it's really long reaching, it's a low, very, very safe. That hit stun and these Smart Shuriken setups are to die for. Then we can check out this other one from Hey George, a similar concept but in the corner, where you just only use one Smart Shuriken and you get a little bit of extra corner extension pizzazz. And what's cool about this corner combo is that you actually get to keep the corner, which is kind of rare for a lot of Takeda combos with all the side switches he does. Now we're gonna show some Waz too, our fellow resident Australian MK player, who recently turned me into another nameless brutal on his stream. but just showing how this same Takeda B&B that we've seen quite a few times, just some buttons into the overhead, and then you can just spend all the gauge, all the cameo meter. This time we actually get to see jacks used, which is cool for a little bit of a difference from the regular Janet or Scorpion. But yeah, with Takeda, even though he's not generally a high damage character, you can dish out the damage, you can dish out the meter and the cameo gauge, and then end with the stylish brutal if you're Wes. Now a little bit more tech about the overhead car cancel into a throw. Kind of cool because we get to see competitors showing off how it can be a car cancel. I think we missed the beginning, but yeah. Overhead cancelling into the throw, which is really cool. It's a strength that Rain has and is really strong, because overhead is already mixed, but then being unreactable into a throw that is pretty easy for Takeda to combo off of is really cool. Oh, and Koji Legend again, with a similar concept to what we got with Thyrax. You can get the slightly charged energy ring with Sonya, which I think we saw a little bit in my combo video. You can also do a similar thing with Kung Lao, which is just cool. Love that back 3 hit advantage. And a slightly more optimized version of a combo with Mavado, who is a cameo I tried out a little bit with Takeda, but I thought he didn't really match him well. I just couldn't really find ways of usefully adding damage, but this guy seems to figure it out pretty well by using 2-1 Mavado, jump 2-1 Mavado. Because it didn't seem like he had things that launched really usefully into Mavado, but as we know, getting as many aerial strings as you can is how Takeda is going to get his damage. So doing the same routes, but then just doing 2-1s into Mavado, and then doing the same route again and then 2-1 into Mavado, seems like that's a pretty good way of getting nice damage. Now, combos are cool, but I think I want to focus a little bit more at the end of this video about just specifically tech, because, you know, combos are cool and they get you big damage, but tech is where sauce really lies. So this guy Shepard shows some interesting Takeda combos using Sektor, where of course we know that you can do this, some buttons into the Lasher Rekka, then the thing explodes. But what he shows afterwards is that you can actually use the rocket after a jump 2-1 to place a smart shuriken and still combo out of it. And that's thanks to the Sektor's new buffs where the rocket ground bounces the opponent. You get this extra hit stun, and he shows a few examples of different combos where 2-1, place the smart shuriken, and then you can like combo off into whatever combo you like, but then you can get throw combos or like shuriken detonation combos. It's really, really cool. So a few different examples of the ways that you can do this, but still comboing out. That time doesn't actually combo out, chooses to go for a reset, but there's a lot of potential there that I had not thought about. And now this is not so much Takeda tech, it's more Ferra, but I guess Takeda's in the video and I'm not going to give Ferra her own. But a lot of people don't really seem to understand how Ferra's cameo gauge works, because it is a little weird, but it is very strong. So of course you can do the regular launchers that we see doing at the beginning of this combo, but even with half a cameo gauge, you can do the ambush, like jump on your back into a launcher from the air. Which does cost you a whole cameo gauge, but you can still do it if you only have half. Which means you can use these full cameo gauge combos that use 2 cameo attacks. Now here we have a little bit of an optimization of what we saw from Sonic earlier, where you get these shuriken resets using, you know, the classic B&B combo into a little bit of a Janet extension, but instead of extending with Janet, you place down the smart shuriken so it ends up behind you, then you shimmy into a throw, into these weirdly high damaging throw combos, looping it again, but this time shimmying into his 1-2 auto shimmy, which auto shimmy just means that you can't tell if the 1-2 string is a throw or a standing one, meaning that people get hit by it when they try to tech the throw, thinking it's a throw. But very cool, and as you can see, if you guess right or shimmy the opponent correctly just a few times or twice, they die very quickly. Very, very powerful. Now, something interesting we got to see from Mustard. Of course, you can trust Mustard to show you the weird niche stuff, but, I mean, the combo we're seeing now near the end is kind of that cool, really intense multi-Shuriken, multi-Cyrax extension, which is crazy on its own, but the beginning is where it's really interesting. So we see his multi-hitting string armor break Johnny, but then also use the EX Shurikens to extend Johnny while he's on the floor as like a grounded reset. Because usually the EX Shurikens, they launch the opponent, but the one closest to you seems like it doesn't. So you get this grounded reset that is leave you plus enough to go into a back 3, and the back 3 leads into ridiculous stuff like Cyrax's net. Then you get to set up for these ridiculous, high damaging, low resource combos. Really, really cool stuff. Then we have Ketchup chiming in that we can't let Mustard have all the fun, and showing that Sektor also does have his own sauce, not only just for those setups we saw before, but for some cool, just intense extensions. Similar to the extensions we saw with Movado, thanks to that new ground bounce we get from the rocket. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of more tech to find, but we have to end at some point. Maybe we'll do another one in a few days when we get to see the real optimal stuff, but stuff is already looking amazing. But to end, I think we should end with this, which shows Takeda going for some juicy stuff, but all on his own. He doesn't need cameos to get things done. Going for this cool combo, and then actually using the, I don't even know what that is called, like the EX spin kick overhead, which we very rarely see as an extender. But then using the weird cross-up potential it has to lay down a shuriken behind you, then get a smart shuriken throw combo, which is really cool. And Takeda showing that he doesn't need no cameo. You don't need Janet set up with her multi-extension. If you don't have Janet, you can still get all the sauce going, which is really, really cool, and I really, really like that about Takeda, but that's all for this time. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.